Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Mark, a trainer here at WEX Field Service Management, and today we are covering creating invoices and proposals. This webinar will cover a job form overview, recommended job form settings. When we say job forms, we mean proposals and invoices, where to create job forms, creating proposals. We'll go over the copy versus new feature, how to convert a proposal to an invoice, how to create an invoice, a little on progress billing, and then some job form reporting so you can manage your invoices and proposals in bulk. We'll do a live Q&A at the end so you can get your questions answered live on stream. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into WEX FSM. We are on a job currently. The first thing I want to do is just an overview of, what are invoices and proposals in your system. When you create an appointment or a job, you will have a section for proposals and financing and invoices and payments. When you create a proposal or an invoice, it will then live in the job folder that you created them for. So we are in job 13437. In our proposal section, we have a simple proposal, we have a mini split install proposal, and you can create proposals right here from clicking new or copy. The copy feature will allow you to copy a previous version of a proposal. It will grab everything from that proposal, add the new customer information, and become a new unique document for your new customer, but have all of the previous info. So it can save you some time, especially if you're doing the same job over and over again. Then for invoices, we've got a PDF viewer. If you just want to quickly view a document, click on that and it will show you what it looks like. And you can see here we have our logo at the top. You can name your job forms. You can assign technicians to your job forms. We'll look at those details when we're creating a proposal a little bit later, but looks very nice and professional. And this is actually what it will look like when you send this to your customer. They will see the PDF version. On any job page, you do have some quick actions where you can send the document to the customer with the little paper airplane icon. And if you have sent it to the customer, there will be a timestamp here. If you hover over that, it will tell you when you sent it, the date and time. So that's just a quick overview. We are going to now jump to setting our foundation, setting our settings. So when we create proposals and invoices, they just look and feel the way we want them to. To do this, we will go to settings in the top right, and we are looking for jobs. And we're actually going to go to each of these pages: business details, contract terms, job preferences, job types, payment terms. We'll start with business details. I highly recommend that you either along with me right now or on your own time, go to all of these pages and update the things we're going to talk about to just make sure everything in your system as it relates to proposals and invoices are set to your preferences. From here, this page will allow you to update what your customers see. If I create a proposal or invoice, it will auto-populate the info on this page. It will let your customers see your business name. If you have a license number that you want to add, you could put that in the second line of address. When you sign up, sometimes you'll use a different email. Make sure this is the customer-facing email that you want your customers to contact you by. And your logo. If you have a logo file, you will click Choose File, find that file, upload it here, and then this logo will appear in the top left corner of your WEX FSM account. However, and probably more importantly, your customers will see that on proposals and invoice, giving you nice branding on your job forms. Click save when you're done. Don't forget, if you edit all this and you don't click save, it will not save if you X out of the tab. Okay, so that is business details. Next, we're going to go to settings, jobs, contract terms. This is the legal stuff. If you have any contracts or, terms and agreements when interacting with your customers and doing jobs for them, this is where you want to put those legal terms. Some of my customers, they just have a general terms and conditions that works great for all jobs that they do. Other customers I have, they have a ton of different contract terms, all for the different types of jobs that they do. So up to you. You will click create new terms, enter the name of those terms. If you already have terms and conditions in a document outside of WEX FSM, you could copy and paste that into here. You can also just write your terms directly in here. And you have the option to make these terms default for proposals, invoices, or both. So for example, if I create a invoice, it's going to take on my general terms because that's what I have the default set. And if I create a proposal, it will take on the proposal terms. Then when you're on the invoice actually building it, you can change and update the contract terms based on the list you've created here. Now let's go to settings, jobs, job preferences. A lot of stuff on this page to consider. So job preferences as it relates to invoices and proposals are under the job forms section. And this is asking, do you want these items to show or be hidden by default when you create a job form? So do you want your customers to see the location name, the model numbers, unit prices, maintenance plan savings, billing addresses, product numbers, or line item amounts and quantities? Maybe I never want my customer to see the model number. I don't want them to go look up how much those things cost. So I'm not going to include those in the view for my proposals and invoices. Now, if I do want to toggle it back on, I can always come back here and adjust this, but this is how your defaults will be set. Once you make the adjustments you want, come down below and click save. Next, let's talk about job types. We're going to go to settings, jobs, job types. Now, job types are a way to say which type of job you are doing, and it also helps with reporting. And so let's say that I want to look at all of my proposals I've done for installs in the month of April. As long as I am tagging all of my install jobs with the install job type, that I can pull that data up very easily. But if you don't have that set here, then you won't be able to assign a job type when you're making a job. So come to this page. There are some examples that come with your system, but I do recommend you create your own. You'll click create new job type. Enter the name of the type of job that you want to track. Change the color if you want here. The job types are visually represented on the schedule page. So I'm going to show you here. When you create a appointment, you'll see different colors. These are the different job types. So red would be service, maintenance is purple, install is green, and that is set here. But as this relates to your proposals and invoices, you will want to just make sure you are creating the different types of jobs that you do. And then when you go to your reporting, you'll be able to toggle by job type to search through your invoices and proposals. Now let's go to settings, jobs, payment terms. And then these are your terms and conditions as it relates to how and when you want your customers to pay. Maybe you're doing a lot of single family home residential. You do your job and it's time for them to pay right after. It's due on receipt. Maybe you do a lot more commercial work and you're setting your jobs default to net 30. But whatever types of payment terms you have with your customers, you will set up here, click new payment terms, enter the name of the terms and how long they have to pay, and click save. Then when you create your invoices, you'll be able to select the terms, but it will set it to the default that you set on this page. All right. And so I do believe that was all of the job types or the jobs settings. So on your own time, just make sure you're going to settings, jobs, and each of these pages and set them to your liking. And then some other things to consider. When you create proposals and invoices, you may want to add uh, maintenance plans. You definitely will want to add some type of charge. You need to charge your customers, so you'll need a price book. And sometimes those price book items will have warranties attached to them. So I do recommend that, you're going to be running jobs out in the field. You'll definitely want to make sure that your price book is set up, that you have any warranties that you offer added. And if you have a maintenance plan program and you are selling maintenance plans to customers, that you have that set up as well. So we are going to just show where you can set these up and some resources to dive deeper into those if you want. To begin, let's go to the price book. We'll go to more applications, price book, my price book. This is where you can add products. And the way that this will work, you will create your price book items here. Let's see an example. I have a parts folder, and all of these are different parts that I know I'm going to add to my proposals and invoices when I'm out in the field. This is where you build those items. Then, when you are out in the field, you will create proposals and invoices and be able to pull these items onto your job forms so you can then show them to your customer and make the sale. Now, I'm not going to go into how to set up your price book today, but if you are interested in that, you can go down to the Help Center, the little smiley face guy, and go to video courses and webinars. If you want to come to our price book focused live sessions for webinars, you can check our calendars here. And we have a build and manage price book video course that you can watch. Or if you just want to watch the price book, where are they? Oh, right here. Price book, we have basics and advanced. So a lot of ways to learn how to set up the price book. Make sure that that's set up in a nice, organized format. That way, when you or your technicians in the field are searching for items, they can find it very quickly. Next, let's look at warranties. We'll go to more applications, price book, warranties. Warranties are going to be your manufacturer parts warranties, your labor warranties, any warranties that you offer. You can just click new warranty, put the name of the warranty, how long the warranty is for, and then a description of what is offered with that warranty. And then when you are creating your price book items, you can attach warranties to the item. And then when that item is added to a proposal or invoice, the warranty is already attached. If you don't attach a warranty to a price book item, you can just add the warranty as a drop down on proposals and invoices, as long as you have come here and set up these warranty templates here. Next is maintenance plans. Same as price book, we're not going to dive deep into how to set up maintenance plans, but I do want to show this is something you'll want to set up if you want to offer maintenance plans on your job forms. Go to More Applications, Maintenance Plans. And from here, you would essentially add your maintenance plan templates. You can put all the different offerings that you have. And then when you're on your proposals and invoices, you can add those maintenance plans and sell them directly from your invoice. If you're interested in maintenance plans, you can go to the Help Center. Same as before, video courses and webinars. You can sign up for our maintenance plan live sessions, watch the maintenance plan video course, sell and track maintenance plans, or just watch the replay of our maintenance plan webinars, which we have basics and advanced. Next, let's actually switch gears. So that what we just went over is the foundation. Make sure your preferences are set. Make sure that when your proposals and invoices go out to your customers, that it looks good, that it's showing and hiding the right things, that your logo is there at the top, and that your price book, your maintenance plans, all the things you know you want to offer are already set up. Once you have that foundation, now we can start creating our job forms, and that flow is going to be a lot easier. To do this, there's a couple ways that you can create proposals and invoices in your system. The easiest and quickest way would be to go to a customer. So right now, I've just searched Justin, went to his profile page. This is one of our customers. And now I want to create a proposal. So I would click Create New Job Form. And from here, I will first select which address this will be attached to. And then what type of job is this? As long as you've set up your job types, let's say we're going to do a furnace install. I'll just name that install, and then I'll name this job furnace install. So this is ready to go. And then I will create new proposal. You do have the option to create a job with a proposal, create a job with an invoice, or just create a job with no job forms in it, and you can add those later. But now we are on a proposal, and you would go through and build this out, and now we would have a proposal to show our customer. Now, I have already created a job, and we're going to go to that to see another way that you can create a proposal or invoice. So we'll go ahead and discard changes here. And let's go to our proposals and invoices job that we made for today's presentation. So that's one way. If you go to the customer page, click create new job, you'll create a job and select whether you want to create a proposal or invoice. Another way is we already have a job. Maybe a job was created when we made an appointment, which that is very common. You'll create an appointment, it will create a job, but that job won't have any proposals or invoices just yet. Then, when you're ready, you can come in to the job page and go to Proposals and Financing and click either New or Copy. Let's see what copy looks like. If you click Copy, it will first pull up all of your favorite proposals first. If you want to see all proposals in your system, you will uncheck favorites. And then that will show you basically all favorites and non-favorites in your system. But favorites come in very handy. This is a workflow that if you know you do the same type of job over and over, save yourself some time by creating templates that will allow you to find and copy the jobs that you need very easily. To do this, I would recommend favoriting the proposal and naming the proposal. So we can see here, if I need to do a mini split install, here it is, mini split install. It's a copy that we're pulling from our previous customer, Justin Hernandez, but that's where naming them comes in very handy. So if we open simple proposal, from here, you can favorite, mark as favorite at the top, and you can also name. So right here where it says proposal name, that's where you'll enter the name. And then when I go to copy, I'll see the favorite, I'll see what this is by the name, and save myself some time by copying that over. But for today's example, let's build a proposal together completely from scratch so you can see what that looks like. To do this, we're on our job. We're going to go down to proposals and financing, and we're going to click new. When creating a proposal, you've got some options at the top. This is going to tell you your customer information. The tax group should be pre-selected by the zip code. If you need to edit or update the tax group, you just change it right here. Then pricing settings right here. There it says pricing settings in the top right. Click on that. And this is where you can update your pricing strategy. You can show or hide maintenance plan pricing, line item quantities and prices, or unit pricing from here. Once you make that update, click save. And then we need to charge our customer for the service we're going to provide. We need to pull those items from the price book. To do this, you will click add item. And then you have some options here. From price book will be your WEX FSM price book. That would be custom items that you are creating, or perhaps you've had a price book loaded into your system, which would load and save in the WEX FSM price book. If you use flat rate and you have the add-on subscription for Profit Rhino, that will show up here. So this tab will show all of your Profit Rhino items. And if you're syncing to QuickBooks, you will see your QuickBooks item list items right here in this list. And if you know exactly what you're looking for, you can type and find those items. Now, you can search if you know exactly what you're looking for. But if you just type, coil, there may be a ton of different coils that show up. It will pull whatever has this key term that you type here in the name, the description, somewhere in the product. But as you can see, there's a ton of products going on here. Maybe it'll be easier and more functional to just use the folders. So if you click on Pricebook folders, this will show the folders you would have built when making your price book, and it can make it very easy to just go, let's say I want to do an install, ductless mini split, and we're going to choose this item and click add item. Once you add an item from the price book, it will then become a unique item for the job form. And I can click into here and make this say whatever I want. Maybe they don't need to see all this. They just need to know this is a mini split install. And then I know that I need to charge them a little more today. So I'm editing the price. And if you're looking at as long as you have serialization turned on that price book item, you can even come in and add the serial number of the equipment that you're selling. Let's click update. And then If you need to create a custom line item, so actually let's do it this way. Number one, if you want to add items, you'll click add item. That's going to open your price book and show you things that are already in your price book. If there's an item that's not in your price book, but you would like to add it, you don't have to go back to the price book page. Just go to price book folders, scroll down, and then this new product button here with the big plus sign, this will allow you to create a price book item that will save in your price book and be referenceable and, pullable for your whole team later. So this is if you want an item, let's say there's a part that I know I want to add to my price book, but I also need it for today. You would build it out here, click save. It'll add it to the job form you're on and add it to your price book in the settings page. However, let's say that there's an item that you want to add that you do not want to add to your price book. It's just for this job. It's a custom item. I know I don't have it in my price book, but I need it for today. You would create a custom line item. Click add custom line item. Now, first it wants to double check and make sure, do you actually not have this item? So if you type in something that is not in your system, it won't show up. But if you already have, let's say I type in coil and the item you need is right there, it's like, oh, I don't need to create a custom item. You can just select this and it'll add it. But let's say, you do not have it, you will just click create custom line item as entered. And now you're just creating a unique item that will not be added to the price book. It will only be for this job. Um, let's do that and add. Very important if you are syncing to QuickBooks. When you create a custom line item, make sure that you select the income account you want this to be tracked, synced to in your QuickBooks. If you do not select this, this is empty. This entire invoice will get stopped. It'll be in a not ready status and it will not sync. So if you know you're going to be creating custom line items, make sure that while you're creating it, you add the income account. That way the system knows where to track that revenue and where to sync that in QuickBooks. Okay. Moving right along, if you want to add a financing product, if you have financing as part of your subscription, you will click select a financing product. Now, this is one of those things you do need to make sure that your financing is set up, that you have lenders, you've gone through the managed loan options. There are live sessions you can go to learn about that. We also have in the Help Center that video courses and webinars page, also financing tutorials there. But as long as you have your financing set up, you will be able to see the loans to offer your customers here. Select that, click save. That will first show as like a recommended item. And then if the customer is ready to go, 70 bucks a month for 132 months, let's do it. Continue to apply will allow you to get to the actual application for this loan. Your customer, either you and your customer together will start application and walk through the process of signing up for the loan. If they're with you, they submit the application. Financing will be, the verdict is instant. You'll know right on the spot whether or not they've been approved or denied for the loan. And then, if they're denied, they will get an email that will have the information as to why. If they are approved, now they're approved. So you can continue forward with the job. And then when you're done, you will be able to collect in bulk the amount that was financed minus a dealer fee, which the dealer fee is different per lender, per, I guess, what is this, per loan. And you will view and determine your loans you want, most likely based on the dealer fee when you are signing up for financing in the beginning. So let's take a step back and let's go to add a maintenance plan. So if you want to add a maintenance plan, same thing. You do have to make sure your maintenance plan templates are set up, but as long as that's set up, this is very easy. You click recommend a maintenance plan, select the plan you want to offer. Let's say we're going to sign them up for the Comfort Club plan and hit save. This will be added as a recommended item first, and then click sign up now to attach the maintenance plan to the customer. Make sure all this information is correct. Click next. Determine the service windows that you're going to go out. We'll go out and do an AC cleaning and a heat cleaning. So we're going out twice a year. This is who I will communicate with when it's time to actually schedule their maintenance visits. And then payment, you have a couple options. We are on a proposal right now, but we will very shortly convert this to an invoice. But we want them in this scenario to pay for the maintenance plan up front. So we're going to hit done to put it on the proposal. So there we go. Maybe today we're doing a big service for them and we're signing them up for a maintenance plan and this is good to go. You can toggle taxes on and off very easily with the T and box over here. And just a couple things on our way down as we scroll. You can add recommended items if you want. So if I click add recommended item, it will just allow me to search my price book like normal. But then once I find the item that I want, I select it, hit add item, and that will save in the recommended items section. When I show this to the customer, I can say, today we're charging you for the service that we did. You're signing up for our program, but I do think that you could also benefit from a filter replacement, whatever it is. If they like what that is and want it, you will click the accept recommendation, which is a thumbs up. That will put it in the product section and then add it to the charged total. If you, let's say 5 minutes later, you're like, you know what? Let's not do that anymore. You can always just click the recommendations arrow and it will move it back to the recommended items section. Recommended items, that's a great way to get your ticket sizes increased per job. Notes will be visible by the customer. So these proposal notes, anything you want to relay to your customer when they look at this job form, put those in the notes here. And then any other things that you want to add, warranties, checklists, and grab customer signature are also here. Now, in this scenario, we can present to the customer if they are standing in front of us. That just puts this in a nice visually pleasing mode so they can just see exactly what's going on. Here's the price, here's the items, descriptions. You're saving $100 for being part of the Comfort Club plan. And you can send this to the customer if you want. You can have the customer accept and sign. If they accept the proposal, then it will be saved with a signed status in your system. Also, if you have the notifications turned on for in your user settings, anytime a proposal is created or signed, you will get an email letting you know that that has happened. Let's go back in. And at the bottom, you can convert to invoice, which will take everything from this proposal and make it into an invoice, or send it to the customer. If you send it to them, they'll be able to view it and sign and accept or decline the proposal. For today's example, let's go ahead and convert this to an invoice and I just want to show you there's two places to do this. While I'm on the proposal, I can go to the very bottom and click convert to invoice. Let's save and close to see the other option. Usually you're building the proposal and then you're sending it to the customer. It'll be a little bit before they say yes. They need to look at it, talk to their significant other. There's a little time. You will then come back to the job, scroll down, and then in the proposals and financing section, let's say that they signed it. We see right here the status is signed. So we're ready to now convert to invoice and take payment. There's a convert to invoice button here. We'll click that. And this is going to ask, how would you like to convert this as a total proposed amount? As percentage of the total proposed amount is for like progress billing, which we'll look at a little example of that in just a second. And you can also do it manually by line item. Maybe I just want to charge them for one of three items that are on the proposal at a time. For today's example, we're going to do the total proposed amount. So let's click convert to invoice. That will now take it from a proposal, convert it to an invoice. And now, since it's an invoice, we can take payment. If you need to make any adjustments to this, you can. It's all unique to this invoice. But as long as everything is exactly the same, you can just scroll down and either take a payment, send it to the customer, delete it, or save it. Pay now will process through WEX FSM, sending the money to your bank account. Record payment is if you are processing outside of WEX FSM. Good example, someone pays with cash. You'll still need to take that cash to the bank, but you want to record that that payment has happened. Send will send it to the customer. That's the same as pay now in that when they make a payment online, that will process through WEX FSM and send the money to your bank account. Let's record a payment for today's example. This is just saying the customer has not signed this. Are you sure you want to move forward? That's up to you. I do recommend that you get a signature, but if you don't, that's fine. You can just bypass that and it will not prevent you from moving forward in the transaction. This invoice is already pre-selected, so we know we're paying for this one. And then this is going to apply. The system already knows. This is just, I'm pointing these things out. So apply a portion or all of this payment to a maintenance plan, which is what we're doing for the Comfort Club plan. And $100 of that will go towards that plan. And then now, let's say they paid with a check today and record payment. That will then refresh us back to the job page where we can scroll down and see that invoice. Here it is. Okay. So we have two more sections before we get into our Q&A. We're going to go over progress billing and then some reporting, and then we'll be finished. Progress billing. So not everyone does progress billing, but it is popular if you're going to do larger projects that have multiple phases. And as each phase is completed, you will then invoice your customer for that phase. But keeping track of that over a long period of time can be difficult if you don't have a process. So for progress billing, I know that I'm going to create a proposal between me and my customer, and it's a $40,000 job, and it's going to happen in 4 phases, and I'm going to charge the customer 25% each phase, 25% of the total for each phase. The first thing you want to do to set up progress billing is to build out the entire project as a proposal, and that's what we've done here. If we look at the proposal, You can see I just built out a proposal. I built out each phase. So phase one, phase two, phase three, phase four. These are all just individual line items. And then the price of 40,000. This is what I would use to explain to my customer what I'm proposing for the job. The customer then will, accept or deny. If they accept it, now we're ready to move forward with the job. I need a way to convert this to an invoice for each phase. You will then click convert to invoice. We want to do as a percentage of the total. And in this scenario, we would want to put 25% for phase one. And when we hit convert to invoice, that will create a $10,000 invoice. We would want to do this 4 times in this scenario. You will click convert to invoice and select 25%. 4 times. That will then populate 4 progress invoices. Now you can see it's upset at me right now because I've already done this. If you're doing it for the first time, it will just let you put this in. But since I've already converted, we can see that they're down here. Each invoice will export out with the percentage that you set. Since I set 25% of 40,000, it's 10,000 per invoice. And the way you get out of trouble with the office and your AR department is you can go into each invoice and set the due date into the future. That way, your accounts receivable aging does not go crazy in your reporting if you're doing this type of thing a lot. To do this, you will simply on the invoice itself, we'll just click progress billing invoice one. You can change the due date right here. And normally with big projects like this in phases, you do have kind of a set timeline, and you would just want to set those due dates out into the future. Once you do that, make sure you do hit save and close, so it will save that information. Okay, last but not least, let's take a look at some reporting where you can track your proposals and invoices in bulk. And so let's take a look at, you know what? We're going to start with some lists. So proposals and invoices. I want to look at all my proposals and invoices. I can go to jobs, proposal list, and invoice list. The proposal list, just what it says, it's a big list of all your proposals. Easy place to just search for a proposal, even by job number. You have all your jobs open here. If you click, that will take you into the job, but you can check sync statuses at a glance. You can very easily look at the proposal with the PDF icon, and this just puts all your proposals in a easy to search format for your proposals. Invoices, same thing. If you go to jobs, invoice list, this is a big list of all your invoices. But this one, invoices are a sync item. So if you sync your WEX FSM account to QuickBooks, you'll want to come check this page often. This is going to be showing your auto sync status. And like right now, I can see some of these are saying not ready. That means they're not ready to sync. So I would click details, and I would want to then just fix what it says. This is saying you need to select an income account for these items. So I will just come in, select where I want these to sync, and then click save. Now it goes into a ready status, and it will just sync over on the next sync. So you're creating invoices in your system, you're syncing to QuickBooks. If you're in that scenario, you'll want to make sure you come here and just check, make sure that the sync is happening properly. Now, it should just sync automatically. You never want to think that it's going to be an error by default, but if there is an error, there's something missing, this is a great place to troubleshoot. All right. And then some Reports I recommend looking at for proposals and invoices will be reporting. Go to the reporting page, and we're going to look at the proposals report, which is right here under the jobs section. So proposals. The receivables report, which is under accounting, receivables, and the job summary report, which is under the jobs section, job summary. Now, the proposals report, if you do a lot of jobs where you are making estimates, maybe you're even bidding against competitors for jobs, you may want to track your close rate, and this is a great place to do that. In your system per job, you are able to determine whether or not a job is considered an opportunity. And then opportunities will either be one, meaning the customer accepts, signs the proposal, and you move forward and complete the job, or a loss. Someone else got the job, you're no longer doing it, and then you can set that, to abandoned. And your system will be able to see your wins versus your losses to give you your close rate on the proposals report. Receivables, this is going to be your best friend if you are the one in charge of collecting the money for these invoices. This is going to show you all your invoices in your system. You do have some filters. And one of my favorite things to do here is, you're probably wondering, who owes me money? Let's go and look at anyone that is overdue. And I have the month of March selected, and here it is. So we have over 170 grand out in the world that is uncollected and that is due today. If we want to remind these customers that they need to pay, we will click select all and send invoices, and you can send out messages in bulk. It's really nice when you send out a bunch of payment reminders and a lot of people pay their bill all at one time. Last but not least, we have the job summary report. This is going to give us a little more insight at a high level view of each job as it relates to proposals and invoices. We can see, are there any signed proposals? And are there any invoices? And what are the totals of that? If you see that there was a proposal that was signed, but it was not, like, there's no invoice, what happened there? Do we need to convert to invoices? Are we ready for that? And then you can just click into the job and investigate further. All right, that is all the information that we have for today's presentation. We're going to move to our Q&A now, but I just want to say thank you so much for joining. My name is Mark with WEX Field Service Management, and this has been Creating Invoices and Proposals.